This is the Sony A7C, a 24 megapixel full frame camera released back in 2021. And in this episode, I'm going to share with you 6 reasons why I bought it in 2025. Reason number 1 is very simple. I regret selling my Sony A7 III. Yes, that is the camera I said a year ago about. This is one of the best and cheapest full frame cameras you can buy, and it's bloody brilliant. And it is, and I regret selling it. Does that make sense? Well, it does and it doesn't, does it? And the reason for that is very, very simple. When I started with photography, I was more into animal, birding, sports photography. So I shot with big zoom lenses, 200 to 600 Sony, 70 to 200 Sony, 135, those kind of focal lengths. Those are big, bulky lenses and you need a big camera, which I bought back then, A7 III. Worked wonders. The second point, I transitioned from big, bulky zooms into smaller primes. So at the time of selling my camera, I sold everything. And I just kept the primes that I basically have, which is the Samyang 24mm f2.8, the Sony 24-70 f4 from ZEISS, and then my favorite, the Sony 85mm f1.8. And no, these are not G-Master lenses. These are just normal, very affordable lenses. Always kept them. God knows, maybe I would buy a Sony camera. So it's perfect for that transition. This is a very small body and they fit very nicely. Now, the third reason is the build quality. This might sound a bit strange, but there's small differences between the Sony A7 III in the finishes and the A7C. Most notably is the battery doors. You see, all the doors here on the side are way better quality than they were on the Sony A7 III. This here, you can just click it in. It works all perfectly. It's not these flingy, dingy doors. So I think personally, that is absolutely fantastic. And it's a great use case for me to actually buy this. Other big reasons for me, and this is really to do with the design. You have this flip out screen, which for us video enthusiasts is really great. But my name is Paul Takes Photos and I take photos. So I use it for horizontal shooting. Plus I have the option of a viewfinder. And if I'm shooting on relatively wide lenses, I don't particularly need a viewfinder, but the minute I go above 70 millimeters, I really need a viewfinder. And above all, it's got great video specs. Now, I don't record video that much on it. I normally, I'm stationary and sitting in front of the camera. But if you want to have all the log profiles, you want to do color grading, yes, this might not be 10-bit. But if you're a pro, you still know how to get the best out of this little camera with all these features. So it's great to have that as a support. Now, reason number 4, and this might also sound strange, you have the Sony A7C Mark II and the R, so resolution. Those come with respectively 33 megapixels and 60 megapixels, and I don't need any of those megapixels. I find a megapixel count roughly up until 28, find it enough. I find this 24 megapixel sensor, for me, is the absolute sweet spot. It's great for photography. Your buffer speeds are still okay, and that's also one great thing here, the burst mode. It's fantastic. Same as the autofocus, right? So let me know in the comments below what you think. And yes, you're probably thinking, Paul, you have so many cameras, what are you going to do? Well, that's a very good question. A little bridge here. I am making a monthly series, keep it or sell it. At the moment I have about 22 different cameras from Nikon, Sony, Fuji, Ricoh, Lumix. A monthly series of keeping or selling this particular camera, and I normally do this by some of these cameras I haven't touched for months, so I'm going to take them with me for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, and then there's a video coming out, whether to keep it or sell it. If you're interested and you want to follow this, hit that subscribe button and become one of the season ticket holders. Now, reason number 5, I'm cleaning up my Lightroom catalogs, and I saw a few pictures of all kind of events I shot in the past. I'm like, damn, these things look good in low light, and wow, pretty good autofocus, sharp, techie sharp. Let's see what this is. Sony A7 III with the 85mm in about 90% of the cases. Okay, pretty good. And that's also the reason why I bought it. It fits my purpose. I have a very specific use case for this. In the summer here, there's loads of events. All I want to do is go out there with a small combo, excellent battery life, excellent autofocus, and a great burst mode. That's all that I need. And this camera, the A7C, provides that. It's absolutely brilliant. I have no doubts about it. Workhorse. It hasn't got the great aesthetics of a Leica or a Fuji, it doesn't look so cool. Before we go to the 6th point, sure, these cameras are not perfect, right? You have no joystick. Preferably, I would love to have a joystick, but then I would have to upgrade to a way more expensive camera. And a joystick for me is not worth plus €1,000. There's no shutter dial on the front. Sure, it's the same as on my Sony RX100 Mark III, so I'm pretty much used to using the rotating wheels on the back. Yeah, it takes a bit of getting used to from the muscle memory point of view, but honestly, guys, no issues there. One card slot, perfect for me. I don't need two. I never used two cards on a day, and I never had a full memory card anyway, so I don't understand it. Otherwise, I always have a backup with me. Now, the ergonomics, sure, it suffers from the Sony grip, which looks really nice now until I'm on my 85, and you see that my fingers are nearly glued to it. Those are some of the downsides, but there's another upside, and that's the last point we're going to do, is the prices on the used market. If you see how this is positioned between $1,000 and $1,200, I think it's still a fair bit of money. In an A7 III you can get for roughly 800, 900 if you're a bit lucky. If you're lucky, 750. Some of you will mention Lumix S5, great camera as well, but not the same autofocus. And then the other alternative is way cheaper, is the Sony A7 II, but that doesn't come near to the autofocus which this camera has, but still a good alternative. Now, in that price range for $1,000, you have the Lumix S9, great camera for video and 65 by 24 aspect ratios. You can see that here. You, for instance, have a Fuji X-T50. You have the Sony A6700 there currently, or 6600. I would say if you really want a cheaper alternative to this, yeah, the Sony A6400 would be great as well. Nice little lens on it.